Hello and welcome to In Focus Kentucky, the very first show. I'm Mario Anderson and we are here in Frankfort outside of the Governor's Mansion to talk with Governor Matt Bevin about workforce development. Well, once again, Governor, we appreciate you making time to join us today.
Very welcome. Pleasure to be here with you.
And I know that there are a lot of important political issues that are facing Kentucky, and one of those hot button issues for you has been workforce development. So kind of talk us through that and why that has been an important issue that you want to tackle.
Workforce development at the end of the day is the backbone of everything. Jobs, job creation. It fuels the economy, everything that we want in this state in terms of education and infrastructure and law enforcement and all the services and things we would expect that a good government will provide comes at a cost. And all that cost comes from taxpayer dollars, and those taxpayer dollars are paid by people who are working and producing wealth and goods and services, trading hands, and all that then comes back to where are the people going to come from that will do those jobs, that will create that wealth, that will pay for all the things we want, and it goes back to workforce development. And we've got to, in the 21st century, make sure that we have men and women who are trained for jobs that exist and they're ready and able to do those jobs when they arrive.
And how would you say that this workforce development will help with the economy for Kentucky?
It'll help tremendously. When I was elected, we were, I think, 47th or 8th maybe in terms of workforce participation. So we had a lower level of workforce participation than we would like. Obviously, no state wants to be near the bottom end of that. We have moved our way up to 40th, still not where we would like to be, but we're trending rapidly in the other direction. That's an important start, is to have able-bodied working age men and women, people like ourselves who are capable of working. They don't have dependents, they don't have anything that would preclude them from working. We want them to work. It's good for them, it's good for society, it's good for the economy. And so we are trying to do that, but how is that done? Some is through traditional schooling, post-secondary schools. Some is through technical schools. Some is through journeyman programs and training of this sort. So there's a variety of different ways that we are attacking this.
And I know with your time in office, you've helped create a lot of initiatives and a lot of conversations, and the Kentucky Works Matters Task Force, a 23-member task force. Talk about that and why you felt that was important to create and kind of what they're working on with that.
Kentucky Works Matters is looking at who are some members of our population here in Kentucky that have been traditionally overlooked, where we have perhaps not expected enough from people or given enough opportunity to people. And that includes people with disabilities, maybe physical disabilities that has precluded them from being an active part of the workforce. It might include people who have come out of the prison population, who are looking for a chance to restart their lives, a second shot, a redemption to get back on track and turn their lives around. It might involve people that are recovering from addiction. And these are populations, increasing numbers of people in our state who are on the sidelines, and we want them off the sidelines. So this is a way to, how can we bring people like that into the program? And there's others as well, even Justice to Journeyman. It's a program within our prison system, within our juvenile detention centers and within our traditional population prisons, men's, women's alike, men and women prisons. Electrical work, welding work, metal stamping, fabricating, skills and jobs that are needed in the outside world. Let's start that training program while people are incarcerated and paying their dues to society.
And talk about that program. How has it been working so far?
It's exciting. Again, we're in 7 institutions. We will scale that as time allows, but we want to make sure that we're doing it right first. But hundreds of people being given an opportunity now to get their lives on track. To become a certified journeyman involves a variety of things, a lot of hands-on experience in the workforce, but before that, you need to have 540 hours of classroom time. Where do we have a more captive audience, literally, than in our prison population? And so these are men and women with a capacity to learn. We want to give them this opportunity. So it's in its infancy. We're only a year into this program, not even, but I'm excited by the opportunity that is unfolding.
And with that Justice to Journeyman program, what type of feedback have you been hearing so far from people throughout the Commonwealth on that?
I mean, many people in the Commonwealth are not fully aware of it. I'll tell you who we have been hearing from: employers who are hoping to employ some of these folks, but from the inmates themselves, people who are saying, this is what I've never been given. I want an opportunity to prove my worth. I want the dignity that comes from working. I want the confidence that I can leave here rehabilitated and with the ability to become a functioning part of society. And so while this, again, is new, it's less than a year in, it's exciting. I think it's going to bear great fruit.
And where did the idea for that particular program come together?
This came as a result of conversations that I've had with members of my team, both on the labor side, on the criminal justice side, and public safety side. How can we better rehabilitate people? It largely has been my thinking from the beginning, even when I was a candidate, that simply removing people from society is not enough. It's an important part of providing public safety. But we need to rehabilitate and then reassimilate them back. 95% of all the people in prison in America will get out. They will be released, more than 95%. So what are we doing to rehabilitate and reassimilate them when they do, so that they can become functioning members of society?
And I assume there's a lot of data that's being collected too on this program, since it's still pretty early in its infancy.
There is. And then also it's I believe in data-driven approaches to things. I look at what other states have done, what other places have done, try to fine-tune them, make them better still. That's just one example. We're doing a lot outside of our prison population as well that, as time allows, we can discuss. But I'm telling you, the things that we're doing with workforce development dollars, $100 million that the state invested, matched by $150 million, $250 million in the last 2 years being invested into workforce development. It is being transformative, training people for jobs that exist, scholarships available so that it costs nothing to get a degree, a 2-year certification or associate's degree in a job that is needed. Construction trades, logistics, IT, healthcare, areas that there are jobs in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth is investing on getting our people ready to do them.
And would you say it's definitely an exciting time to be able to kind of be at the forefront of getting these programs up and running?
It is. We are at the front end, and it's a powerful time, and it's going to plant seeds that will germinate and produce fruit for years to come.
All right, and we're going to be taking a quick break, but when we come back, Governor, we're going to talk about the controversial to some folks, the Right to Work Act, and how the governor envisions it helping the state. Right next, here on In Focus Kentucky.